All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis coach and your personal guide. And a warm and a special welcome to all of you tuning in to the iHypnosis coaching journeys. These are really special, hand-picked journeys of people who are doing absolutely amazing work. Maybe they were in a different avatar before, but today they have embraced something that really connects with them, which is to be more of the coach and possibly even the healer. And my team and I are constantly looking for people who are doing this kind of amazing work. And I have a special guest with me. Of course, this is your cue, Sonal. You can go ahead and turn on your camera. And even as you do, thank you for
So
making the
hello everyone.
time. A warm welcome. So thank you for being here.
So hello everyone. Thank you so much, Rahul, for inviting me for this, especially the live stream. And as I remember last time when we, connected, with you, even Devsmita, also it was a surprise for me in the sense I'm fortunate really to be part of this live and with you, especially who is a well recognized, coach and in the healing space. So I'm feeling very grateful about it being part of
Amazing.
especially your live stream. So thank you so much for
Amazing.
inviting me. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for making the time because I always believe that whoever is meant to, be here on this journey where we cross paths and maybe we travel, you know, uh, together in parallel for whatever length of time, there are no accidents. So we were meant to be here together like this on this our podcast. So thank you for making the time. And the intention, of course, is people get to know you better, and I know that you have some special gifts, uh, which are your own personal gifts that you get to share with people on an ongoing basis. And my intention is that people discover you through this channel and through many other channels, and they get to benefit from what you have received in your lifetime. um, and I'm sure you know that this is just the beginning, right? As they say, picture to abhi baki hai mere dost. So on that note, I'd love to get to know more about you and your journey, and let's maybe start where you are today. Sonal, tell us a little bit about what you do today in this world of
Okay.
digital
So thank
living.
you so much, Rahul. So I would suggest you just speak slightly, louder.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was able to hear. So maybe next time.
Okay.
So but I understood what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, hello everyone. So whoever is watching or who will be watching this recording later. So just warm welcome on this live. And I am Coach Sonal Chauhan. I am basically a happiness painting coach, and I work for the IT professionals with
Mm.
respect to their stress healing area. So my basic method is a painting. So I help them to rediscover themselves using painting and to get stress out of their body on the daily basis. I do also help them to find out their stress coping strategy, or I would
Mm.
say the stress management strategy, which can work for them not just by end of the day, even during the work hours also. So my methods and my tools etc is all aligned with that, and painting side and basically for the stress. And I do also help them with respect to anxiety and this burnout area, but my key area is a stress. So this is all
Stress.
about me, what I
Mm.
am doing right now. And
Excellent.
I'm also a part of ILH community, that is Internet Lifestyle Hub, and
Mm.
under the mentorship program of Siddharth Rajshekar. And under this community only, and the mentorship only, I have developed my courses, digital courses,
Mm.
and digital courses and the coaching part. So I have joined basically coaching sector, digital coaching sector in year 2023, January.
Nice.
So this
Nice.
is what I am doing right now currently.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's maybe take a moment, and sometimes people forget, you've reached here, you've had an experience, and that's why you are able to do the things that you're doing today. Whether it is the special gifts that you have, whether it's the special skills that you have developed, maybe in the last couple of years or maybe over your lifetime. But I
Yeah.
truly believe that when people get to hear your story and they get to understand the journey that you've been on, both the ups and the downs, the good and the not so good, right? And
Yeah.
as always, I always remind my guests, you're more than welcome to share whatever it is that you feel in the moment, which I'm sure will help other people as they go through their life's journey. So maybe we'll start
Great.
there and take us to sort of back in time before you got to become Coach Sonal Chauhan. Right? So, what was that
Yeah.
journey for you? And you can go as far back as you feel, connected to today, right now.
Sure, sure. So I'll start with the initially, what I was before, coaching
Mm,
industry. So basically, I'm a software engineer by profession,
mm,
and
mm-hmm,
I am very passionate about technology, actually, computer
mm,
science and all. So that was my
mm,
stream. So I have
mm.
joined IT sector in year 2006, and I am a
Okay.
2005 pass out, graduated.
Mm,
And from there, my I was very passionate about the technology, and I worked for the IT industry for more than 18 years.
nice.
And in my work side, I have been very career oriented, in the sense
Mm,
career is my first priority,
mm,
along with family. And but I have been very passionate about technical space technology, and I used to learn everything very quickly. And
mm,
working on the challenging assignments, especially, that was my
mm.
key area, because everything should challenge me every time. The moment it
Right.
becomes, monotonous and all, so I look for the change. So I was, like that, and that really helped me to grow in my career. But with the
Mm,
challenges, right, when we talk about the challenges, especially in the fast growing industry, which is rapidly changes within a night, deployment happened, everything changes. It comes with its own challenges with respect to managing your stress, because challenges always will lead to you stress when you are getting into different teams every time, and you have to learn that accordingly. You have to change the sometime technologies also. So I
mm,
worked with many technologies and many different type of assignments and different area,
mm.
so which exposed me in the different sort of stress. Every time it can be anxiety
Right.
also, sometimes it
Mm,
can be burnout, then stress. More than that, different leadership and my own colleagues, different, their personalities and all. And basically, I'm an introvert by nature. So
mm,
my although I'm an introvert by nature, but I am very passionate about, my career and technology. But I like working on my space, so that also added a lot of stress with respect to that, when you are working, in the bigger teams and all. So it has
mm,
been very challenging. And I have grown immensely in my career, especially till year 2016. And I
mm,
used to enjoy my work like anything. Every day I will look forward to, for my, especially the day. But
mm,
from year 2016, I started seeing some changes in myself. The work
mm.
which I used to enjoy, I look forward. Somehow I started, not enjoying it. So that was
Right.
my trigger point. I started, what is happening to me? Why the challenges and work I used to look forward on daily basis, what suddenly happened? Then
Right.
slowly I realized my work environment has changed, my roles are
Mm,
changing, and it is somehow accumulating me stress.
mm,
So I'm not feeling that energetic to look forward for anything, and I am
mm.
more prone to the stress, because it started triggering me. Then
Right.
further it keeps going. So then I reconnected with my childhood passion. That was a painting. Somehow, because I stopped enjoying, my work,
Mm,
so I reconnected and with my passion. So hobbies and artistic activities
mm.
have been my passion from my early childhood only. So
Right.
painting I started doing, then I realized after doing this I feel so great, in the sense
Mm,
I will be more calm, stress free, and I will enjoy that. The work
mm,
I used to enjoy, same enjoyment I was getting that with my passion. Then
Nice.
slowly that, just some hours activity became my stress relief mechanism, in the sense
Mm.
the more I will do that, I'll feel very energetic for the next day. So I
Right.
continued my passion from year 2016.
Mm.
But along with the stress, I was facing lot of different disturbance also, in the sense
Mm.
in my work related environment.
Mm.
The my role has grown a lot, in the sense, I started leading the teams also, and
Right.
my area of aspiration was the architecture.
Mm.
So then lead architecture, then I was exposed into sales team where very rapid work changes happened. And there are
Mm.
so many times I felt, emotional abuse and then bullying, etc., also in the bigger
Right.
teams. So
Mm.
it didn't stop till stress, so it leads to the abuse and all. And there was a time
Mm.
it clearly put me into the depression also, depressive disorders. So
Mm.
painting has been my escape point, but at the same time, I took the help of, life coaches and the medical side also, and it really helped me to recover myself. And I
Mm.
was feeling good, but again there was a, trigger point happened where I had to switch my company, and I went
Right.
into some new environment after
Mm.
staying in the same company for the long time. So
Right.
whoever is there watching, they know me.
Mm.
They know which company I'm talking about. Don't want to mention the name, but
Sure. Sure.
I changed the company, and there also workplace related abuse. It started,
Mm.
bullying and all,
Mm.
and there were the teams and very, very junior, etc. They started, taking it. So then I realized it is a work culture issue, work environment issue. And
Right.
also, what happens in the toxic work culture, I would say, where you do not respect of each other's time, and you do
Mm.
not respect what is any newbody is joining, how you
Right.
have to treat them, right? You need to understand that somebody came from outside, how you have to treat them when they were already facing a lot of issues in the previous company. So this
Mm.
company was far away from everything. I
Right.
mean, I really struggled to manage my same day also. More than
Mm.
that, leadership side, I felt a lot of toxic, and they used to, every day, they used to pass me comments and all. So for that, I
Wow.
have raised a lot of, escalations and complaint, and
Mm.
that led me, because I was new to the company,
Mm-hmm.
then they put me out, out of that. But during this time only, yeah, I'm laughing now because this is
True.
this became, it was not a laughing point actually.
Yeah.
That time it was
Of
very
course.
horrible, I
Of
would
course.
say.
Mm.
2-3 days have been so much of panic, because
Mm.
there were very senior people, very old senior, somebody sitting next to you, and they
Mm.
are passing comments and they are judging you constantly, when you have been a constant achiever. In the sense,
Right.
your confidence, everything will go down. More
Mm.
than that, you will feel, a kind of threat only, in the sense somebody is sitting next to you and always passing a comment, and you cannot
Wow.
do anything about it, right? Because
Mm.
you are new to the company, there is no HR,
Correct.
nothing is there. There is
Mm.
only one HR, and that also sit in the different location. So nobody is
Mm.
there to address, and then you cannot raise it to anything, and you are forced to go to work also every day. That is also
Right.
not like you can sit somewhere else, and then at least when it is a remote, you can skip them and you can
Mm.
manage. Because I worked for 18 years, I know, how it works. So
Right.
that possibility was also not there. You have to face them, and they keep torturing, and they are very senior to you. So
Mm.
more than that, you are already facing, other issues. So that led me into panic attack. Panic
Mm.
attack means I was literally, hospitalized in
Okay.
one of the day. And then next day I had a discussion with, just casual discussion with and all. And finally I knew that, because that was the point, I was not able
Mm.
to think anything, in the sense, forget about work and all, I do not bother about work anymore. I was thinking, like, like whether, next day will happen or not. So that was the situation, and they put me out of that,
Mm.
company only. I felt good only. I felt
Right.
good because I was not in the situation to breathe. I was breathless at
Correct.
some point of time.
Mm.
So that came as a relief for me. Although, they
Mm.
put me out of this. But after a few days, I started. It happens when you are going through that cycle, right? The stress, extreme stress, and then panic
Mm.
attack. then burn out, and then you will feel like, exhausted for few days. Same thing happened to me.
Right.
But just before that, actually 2 weeks before, I joined Siddharth program webinar
Mm.
along with the Blair singer, and I bought a ILH membership.
Mm.
So then slowly I started being part of that community, so which helped me to at least not go further down with respect to
Correct.
my, stress and etc.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
it
So
helped me to
just
recover
perfect. So
in the
Sonal, just for
sense being part of
context,
it.
perfect. Thank
Yeah.
thank you for actually, leading us through, because a lot of times people, they don't know what goes on behind to get to this
Yeah,
point.
because yeah,
They
that
only
is
see the
true. That is
success
true.
and they feel, okay, it's easy, anybody can do it. But it's what
Yeah,
you went through it, and you were
yeah.
able to get to this point. But just from a timeline perspective, you had talked about 2016, and then you had, I think, joined the new company, and that continued for a little while. And what was that like? Which year would you say was that, when you kind of were like, okay, I'm no longer in the other company. Now I am, joining. You came across Siddharth and Blair Singer, and you.
2023
So last year,
January.
right?
Hmm.
January. Right. Right. Okay. So
So
continue.
2000,
So
yeah, so everything happened on the December
mm,
2022 and
22.
2023 January.
Mm,
In the first week, I joined this program,
right.
and the
Right.
next week, within a 2 week, all this happened. And
Mm,
somehow, because I was part of this, so I got into something else.
okay.
It's all happened unplanned in the sense
Right.
because I
Right.
was not enjoying my work. So that
Mm,
is the reason it diverted me into something else, right? But I
right.
wanted to do it in parallel, but I never knew, like, it will end up
Mm,
with like that.
mm,
So it's I will tell you, it's in this situation it has
mm-hmm.
been extremely stressful for me, and it's not
Yes.
like I didn't do anything about it. I
Correct.
reached out to help to everybody, and I don't want to
Mm,
mention,
sure.
even I went out and I reported, and all, nothing happened. So when
Mm,
nothing happened, it led me more disappointment, more
right.
than this actually,
Mm,
because I worked and nothing happened. So then I started thinking, like, so many years I served the industry, and I reached out for the help to the different people, even
mm,
within the industry and within the government also, and nothing happened.
mm,
That led me more disappointment as
right.
compared to, just my, so but somehow, because I was part of some community, and I started
Mm,
focusing on the new stream in the new
mm,
area. And
mm,
but I used to feel that pain was still there, but I
mm,
continued. So this is what I
right.
wanted to tell, like, we should always be a part of certain community, in the sense which is
Mm,
uplifting me, in the sense, it
right.
is because work environment always is not being a uplifting side.
Mm,
I have worked on the under very inspiring leadership also, inspiring team also, where people will
mm,
come and help each other. I will go
right.
there, and there is no foundation, no restriction. I work on those type of teams also. I worked under those type of leadership also, which will do anything
Mm,
for you. You have to. They will trust like
right.
anything. If I
Mm,
have to get something done, I have helped many of my colleagues who were going through the stress, abuse, even abroad
mm,
also. I
right.
intervened there, although they were not related
Mm,
to me. I didn't know them, so
wow.
I have done that. But it happens
Mm,
only when you are under proper leadership. So my
right.
leadership has been inspiring many time, and same time it
Mm,
has been toxic. So it's not about I had a good both experience, inspiring
mm,
experience for the longer period of time, and then this happened. So
right.
somehow, if I look back and reflect on my journey, so it
Mm,
was like, my destination. Maybe somehow, it was planned, because I don't have to wait in between and live with
mm,
my stress, trauma, and all. Something has been designed
mm,
for me already, and it was just
mm,
getting executed one by one. And
mm,
this is all about, my present, how I came into digital coaching.
mm,
And prior to that, from my, if I look into my backstory, like,
mm,
so I have grown up in one of the very religious place in Uttar
mm,
Pradesh, that is
mm,
Allahabad. which is
Wow.
famous for the Mahakumbh, etc. So
Mm.
I have been in that, religious aspect from my childhood only, and
Right.
with my grandparents, and my
Mm.
grandfather was a freedom fighter basically.
Wow.
So I have seen him living very independently, in the sense
Mm.
he used to do all the work by himself, and he will not get,
Mm.
hesitate to do anything. So
Mm.
I have seen my grandparents very effectively working, even
Mm.
in their, old, taking responsibilities and
Mm.
working and not giving up on anything. So this is what I have observed, especially on my grandparents' side. So so those has been my inspiration. And my
Right.
grandfather was even recognized for the Indian government also, being the freedom
Wow.
fighter, and he literally fought for the country, and they have done a lot with respect to. And
Mm.
my entire, grandfather side, my family side, my
Mm.
parental side, especially, my family side, my father got into some, habit, abusive substance
Mm.
habit, which led
Mm.
me into, his daily kind of traumatic experience for us, especially due to
Mm.
his habit, substance abuse,
Mm.
right? So we used to face, a lot of issues with respect to stress in the early
Mm.
childhood. So my childhood
Right.
has been both mixed and, good and bad
Mm.
experiences. And
Mm.
that led me into my hobby area, especially painting and all, because I used
Mm.
to feel a lot of stress seeing the family
Right.
environment. So I wanted to calm myself. So I adopted a lot of, art related activities,
Mm.
and I wanted to do good in studies,
Mm.
because this is what my main, like, if you are educated, especially from the women's side, because I have seen this in my own
Mm.
family. If you are
Mm.
financially independent, and if you really want to achieve something, we have to especially work on our career side and
Right.
financial stability. So that I have
Mm.
realized is seeing my family situation, and then it led me into having a strong career goals.
Nice.
So that was the main reason I pushed always,
Mm.
whatever, come, especially related to, engineering. Lot of issues I had it, and
Right.
then I was from the Hindi
Mm.
medium, then adapting the engineering side has been a lot of
Right.
issues. And my first 6 months has been gone into, totally struggling with the different
Mm.
languages. And but somehow I picked up, and then, I crossed it with the, good grades only. And schooling
Mm.
side also I have been fine.
Right.
Then getting into IT industry, I shifted from North India, especially Middle India, to the South India,
Mm.
and then I adapted everything. So I'm very
Nice.
good in adapting, in the sense,
Mm.
when I have some goals,
Mm.
especially,
Mm.
so I can work with anyone, especially. So
Nice.
that adaptability is there. I do not look for
Mm.
any cultural differences when I have a goals, in the sense. So
Nice.
that, and it has been very welcoming, especially my first
Mm.
company. I didn't feel like, that is a totally a shift, in the sense, because I don't look for that, in the sense,
Right.
some things I adapt it very quickly. So it has been my journey from my childhood to my, career building. So any other question, like, you want
Beautiful.
to? So that's all.
Beautiful. I mean, this is hearing your story reminds me of why I sort of had that moment of inspiration that as coaches, it's not just me personally, my story, but there are so many stories out there that the more other coaches who are on the journey, when they hear these stories, it reminds them of why each of us has been chosen to do this kind of work,
Okay.
right? And that when we are
Yeah, so
reminded.
yeah, I can relate to that now, because let me tell you,
Mm-hmm,
like, although I have been from a very religious background, but
mm-hmm,
still I believe on science more, in the sense, because I have been science students, and I have seen it working, and I worked for the IT industry for
mm,
the long time. So when
mm-hmm,
somebody talk about universal, like, universe is telling, this is telling, I didn't had that faith actually. But when I
Mm.
started talking to you, and then I started connecting with the with this community only, and Siddharth is also talking about his spiritual background,
Mm.
then they are also talking about universe, then there's so many coaches they're talking, then I started reflecting myself, like what
Right.
is happening. So seriously, if I look back, and everything happens for some reason, now
Yes.
I will to correlate. Earlier I was not
Mm.
able, because I am a science person, in the
Correct.
sense I believe
Correct.
only what is proven and what I can see that.
Yes. Of
But if
course.
I look back after being part of this, especially when I talk to you, and then
Mm.
ILH, and then Siddharth learning, etc., I
Mm.
started correlating that, like, okay, this has happened, and I never thought I will be here. Even I
Mm.
didn't think like I will be in IT industry from my childhood.
Right.
But
Right.
everything happens due to certain reason, and
Yes.
someone was helping me always. There is
Mm.
always someone held me to find my next step, in the sense,
Yes.
because I didn't
Yes.
from my childhood I never dreamt I will be here. I
Mm.
never felt like
True.
I will be an engineer, because in my family nobody was there.
Mm.
No women was especially was there. I
Mm.
never thought like I will be a part of IT industry. Now I'm feeling like I am able to correlate. This has happened. I was rejected from something else because I have to come there. So now I'm able to correlate everything. This was also, I was supposed to be here. That is the reason I went through all this. So now I'm able to correlate, and I started having faith on that. Otherwise, I'm very that oriented, facts and proven. So this is all about me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, if you ask me, that is one of the big pieces, right? When you suddenly have those realizations that maybe I didn't think of it as a kid कि बड़े होके हम कोच बनेंगे या लोगों को कुछ
हाँ,
सिखाएंगे,
वो
right?
कभी कभी नहीं सोचा. I never thought, never thought. I
Exactly.
didn't know, first of all. 2 years back only, I didn't know digital
Mm.
coaching is something is
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
When co and Another interesting part is, I don't get into sports because I don't
Mm.
like it.
Mm.
I'm more into artistic activities.
Mm.
So
Mm.
when it comes to physical activity, it end up with dancing, all the art related. So
Mm.
sports is my least interest. So I used to see coaches and all. So my assumption was like,
Right.
coach means sports.
Mm.
And I never knew. And when I joined this, I realized that it's a totally different universe. It's a totally different world, like,
Mm.
and which area I used to think like this should be there, because I'm from the science background, and I
Right.
worked for the IT industry, and being in touch with the laptop and computer,
Mm.
and then when it comes
Yeah.
to getting into exact all those things, right, different sectors, we call it a business there.
Correct.
So that exposure was very less, so I focused more on
Mm.
technical aspect, how systems are working, architecture
Right.
is working, coding, and then data is flowing, this is flowing. Then it is totally new world, like people are working on their personal development also.
Yes.
And people are working on, there is a especially for health coaches are there, who will
Yes.
really motivate you, because gym and all I knew, like, but those are trainers. Then I realized, like,
Correct.
okay, this is also there.
Yes.
Then slowly I realized, oh, for everything coaches are there. So it is a totally surprising, I would say. No,
Yes.
it's not funny, I'm telling, but yeah, it may be funny for those who are like me, in the sense, because it's totally something, it was a hidden for me.
Yes. Yes.
And
100%.
normally it was hidden, because I told you I'm very passionate about my, I will never
Mm.
open a social media. I will
Correct.
only open the social media when I'm traveling, and just to put a picture, that's
Mm.
all. And
Wow.
LinkedIn, just to update my promotions and all, that's all.
Yes.
That
Correct.
also I was not doing initially, that also
Mm.
because others were doing, so I started. So for
Right.
social media was like, because I was
Yeah.
totally into different world. That
Correct.
was architecture, software, and
Mm.
different customers, this all.
Yeah.
And this is totally different world for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So it's like a totally, I would say, a transformation. It's a
Yes.
career, totally
Yes.
transformation.
Yes.
My old, if somebody na who knew me, if I'll tell them what I am doing na, they will be so surprised. They used to see me in parallel, painting and all. But when I talk about healing and all, they'll be so what she is doing, like how she used to work and now what she is into healing area. So it is
Yeah,
surprising for them. Yeah,
so
that's how.
true, so true. And see, this is what makes our story so powerful. This is what makes your story so powerful, because when people see you today, especially people who've known you from, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I bet if you happen to go for any reunion now, they won't even know who is in front of them,
Believe, they will not believe.
right?
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true. So,
Right? Like,
yes, that is correct. College side, I was totally different.
mm,
Nobody believe, even
huh?
nobody will believe me because I was not into social media.
Mm,
Although I had accounts, but I never used to post, especially
right.
LinkedIn and all. So
Mm,
they will not be knowing what I became in 18 years.
correct.
In the sense,
Very
my
true.
work related, I used to take challenges because college, I was totally into shell.
Mm, yeah.
Shell means already my first
Huh?
6 7 months, I was struggling with the language. Then top of that, engineering subjects, that is okay for me, but
Mm, mm,
language and then taking that more than
right.
that, what happens when especially these professional,
Mm,
this is called the professional degrees, in the
mm,
sense, so
yeah.
when there's a lot of mix of stream will come,
Correct.
everybody will come,
Correct.
people will come from different cities also, metro cities
Mm,
also they will come, and then small
correct.
cities also, then some will be from different so for me mostly it has been Hindi and English only most of the time.
Mm,
And I am very fortunate enough, like, my college was very caring. The
mm,
issues which I am working right now I can
mm,
relate that, because
right.
once you will take those now, you will not realize we take it for
Correct.
granted till the
Correct.
time we face that issue, because
Yeah.
I faced that issue, especially,
Yes.
workplace bully, etc.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
I can correlate, because
Mm,
engineering and all those sector,
yes.
medical, I'm not sure about the
Mm,
other side, but there are a lot
mm,
of raggings and all those things
yes.
happen. But
Yes.
I have been fortunate enough about my college, they took care of that. I am so,
Mm,
gladful, because I am very prone to
right.
that, in the sense
Yes.
if an environment is not proper, it really
Mm,
affect me. It really affect me,
mm,
especially this, bullying side and all. So
mm,
I'm grateful that, so my college was Hitkarni Engineering College at CET,
mm,
and
mm,
now I can recall how better they were, especially in managing all these critical issues.
right.
Nobody can do that actually. College
Mm,
side and all, nobody bother, but they took care of
mm,
like anything. And
amazing.
session, lectures, everything they were. I'm
Right.
really happy about it. I was part of it,
Beautiful. Yeah.
especially. I
Amazing.
think 2 years before only that rule came, that law
Mm,
came, right?
mm,
Anti-ragging or something came.
right. Right.
So somehow we were very lucky, but more than
Mm,
forget about rules, it's implementation more,
mm,
and they have done really
mm.
good job, especially
Amazing.
college
So
side.
speaking of
So
college and like they say alma mater, of course in India sometimes jokes से हम लोग आलू मटर बुला देते हैं उसको कोई बात नहीं है.
sorry.
But it means the same thing. So instead of आलू instead of alma mater, इंडिया में हम लोग
हाँ
आलू मटर कभी बुला देते हैं, right? But it
हाँ
means
हाँ हाँ
basically जहाँ से आप आए हो, right? Where you studied.
हाँ.
So in the context of coaching, could you share a little bit about your experiences of having learned from different coaches and different
Hmm.
subjects? Some are directly linked to what you do today, which is the
Okay.
core is painting and art. And then there's the other side to you, which we will talk about in a moment. But for now, basically, if you could share a little bit of your experiences and the journey of being with these coaches, learning from these coaches. One part is like your core subject, and the other part is, say, the marketing, which becomes also and equally important, because one is your core subject and one
Okay.
is the marketing, so people find you, right? So if you could share a little bit of light on
Marketing in
that.
the sense?
So like, say for example, digital marketing, right?
Okay. Hmm.
So a lot of people who are artists have no idea about digital marketing. But
Okay.
somehow in your journey, you chose to go
Okay. Okay.
deep into the art
I will.
and
I will. I
also
got
the
it. I
digital.
got it now. I got it. I got it. What you are asking.
Mm.
So yes, I will tell about that. So subject
Mm.
side especially.
Mm.
So because I have been a technical backgrounds,
Mm.
but when we talk about the technical background, it doesn't mean digital marketing.
Mm.
So my technical backgrounds was like building software, like
Mm.
building software services and
Right.
serving the clients with respect
Mm.
to their system integrations. In the sense, I'm not sure whether you will be able to take that language, understand that language, but it is more about building software
Mm.
and building software for the clients,
Mm.
customers. So my
Mm-hmm.
customers have been from US, UK, and different countries,
Mm.
even from India also. And
Right.
that was. And when it comes to especially the coaching side, where digital marketing, selling, and all, it is slightly related to social media and then different
Mm.
marketing concept. But nowadays we are using AI based, because Siddharth is teaching
Right.
us mostly
Mm.
AI based,
Mm.
related thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to correlate everything and I pick up all those things
Right.
very fast and I promote
Mm.
that, because
Mm.
I do not hesitate, because there is a lot of stigma about AI, because I'm into healing, but it's
Yes.
somehow linked with the creativity, and
Mm.
people hesitate of using
Yes.
AI. So I just
Yes.
want to tell them, because I know in and out about how it's been built. It's been
Mm.
built to uplift you,
Yes.
empower you, not to
Yes.
bring down your creativity. So
Mm.
just do not live in that mindset like it will bring down something, it will harm. If you will not adopt it, you
Mm.
will be behind. So
Mm.
you have to use it for to make your work better. It will not
Mm.
remove your work. You have to use it to make it work your better.
Got
So
it.
similarly, I use a lot of AI based tools, especially for my marketing side also, and my post,
Mm.
etc. And then chat gpt, etc., even Siddharth has taught us that is it's totally AI based. Other
Mm.
than Postwise and Richify and all, these are the AI based. So
Mm.
AI is changing entire world, but
Mm.
people are afraid, especially in the creativity space, to adapt that. Reason,
Mm.
they think it will bring down. No, you
Right.
don't use that for your exactly. Use it for enhancing your work. So
Mm.
I use it the area which I don't want to spend time. In the sense,
Got
I
it.
want that especially uh, I take a help of technology to work on those
Mm.
areas, especially marketing side and etc.
Right.
And creativity side, I'm doing with my hands. So that area I didn't touch it.
Mm.
Now there is a different technical space that is called virtual reality,
Mm-hmm.
VR and all. So
Mm-hmm.
VR also, especially where you can visualize that, in the sense it is
Right.
it is happening. So in the creative space and all, I
Mm.
was a partner of one of the VR platform that is called the
Right.
Artmo. Artmo, it
Mm.
is related to artistic, where you can just
Mm.
create a virtual gallery. So it is
Nice.
empowering you, right? So it is giving you
Mm.
platform where you
Mm.
can put your work, and it is
Right.
giving you different techniques which you can use
Mm.
to enhance, and maybe for personal branding, maybe
Right.
for your marketing. And
Mm.
more than that, there are a lot of tools come to generate art only, but it doesn't
Mm.
mean your work will be reduced. You can use it
Right.
for marketing also, visualize your idea
Mm.
also.
Mm.
Maybe something you want to visualize, you can use that. And there are a lot of even chat gpt, you can generate that. Then leonardo.ai it comes, and so many others we
Mm.
can explore. So
Correct.
mostly these two I use it. And then
Mm.
canva, anyway, it is based on that.
Mm.
So it also supports AI and you can use that. So
Right.
uh, so it is up to us, like if
Mm.
we want to adopt that, it will help you, it will help.
Nice.
And if you will
Nice.
ignore that for the longer period, just being very stick in, like, I will not use it, then somebody
Mm.
else will use it. Right, they will do better than you. So it
Right.
is your choice personally.
Mm.
And as a from the technical background, I do not hesitate.
Correct.
I in fact I promote it, so because I
Nice.
want them to grow.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
sense, I
So,
do not want them like something. And especially there are a lot of
yeah.
startups are there,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially even Artsmo is a startup,
Mm.
Richify app and all. So I want them to grow. There are a lot of
Yeah.
India based who are working on this space, digital marketing and all.
Mm.
And I'm from the Bangalore, so
Mm.
I use it, no issue. I
Mm.
try it, test it, and give feedback.
Correct.
Also, this is what I
Correct.
do.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I do not
just a question
hesitate.
here. Excellent. So that's a very important lesson from your story, which is to not hesitate,
Yeah,
which means to go out to
do
test
not
and see.
hesitate. Try it out.
Exactly. Right. So give it a
Yeah,
go, see if it connects. If not, there are more tools out there. My question is a
yeah,
little
yeah. You can
different,
try it out.
right? A little different question for you. As you said, someone who has a technical background, a technology background, having worked in the IT industry as well, art normally is like the other world, right? So there's technology and then there's
Yes,
art. Even in the context of art, from what I have, the study that I did of your profile and what you've been doing, you have also studied art, right?
yes,
So could you share a little bit about, because uh, even when we talk about coaching, it's so important that our core skill is something that we're constantly developing, right?
yes, yes.
So
I
could you
got it.
share a
I
little bit
got it.
about how you
Hmm.
have focused
Oh, that
on
area. Okay, okay,
getting
got it. So because
mm,
yeah, somebody asked about this, now I end up with this, and I'll be very happy about telling AI and all those things. So yeah, that area is definitely so. I'm doing painting from my childhood.
yes.
So I learned under one of the teacher,
Mm,
especially in the school, and that I started my journey in my
mm,
childhood.
mm,
And then it set a foundation for me, especially
yes.
during my school only, childhood only.
Mm,
And then I started exploring that more, and
mm,
then I got an interest, and I used to participate in all area of
mm,
especially competition wherever it is happening. By default, school will send me.
mm,
So they used to send me, and somehow I was in touch with that, and I myself will do it, and I at
right.
home and all, because this was my
Mm,
key area of
correct.
interest.
Correct.
And so then I got into IT industry, software side, etc.
Mm,
And I was not in touch with this for some time.
mm,
Okay, then I picked up it again under the there is a famous artist in acrylic side, so that is
mm,
Ginger Cook. So
okay.
she's pretty experienced, and also I got in touch and I started connected. So that was my key point. I realized like it has changed completely. Earlier I was
Yes.
dependent on, like, somebody will tell me, I will go to neighbor. And there was
Mm,
one, my neighbor auntie was also there. She used to do a lot of big painting. So my
yes.
inspiration sources has
Mm,
been normal people, because
mm,
there that time technology was not there,
mm,
internet was not there in my
mm,
childhood. So
correct.
my sources were my neighbor, and then
Yeah.
my school, and whoever I
Yes.
can see, right? We were not
Yeah.
laptop,
Correct.
nothing was there na that time.
Correct.
So my neighbor and all, so she used to paint a lot and all, so that was my inspiration point, in the sense,
Mm,
seeing the others. And school was already helping me, but my inspiration
mm,
has been that. Well, there was my
nice.
one of the tenant also, she used to paint a lot. And there was my neighbor auntie,
Mm,
she was very artistic. And my own mother, she was very artistic, in the sense, in childhood and all, and she used
mm,
to help a lot. So
mm,
that everything inspiration held me. But
mm,
when the career side, it picked up, now I picked up a professional career,
mm,
because I wanted to have a career related to where I can be financially independent.
mm.
You got my
Got it.
point, right?
Got it.
And
Got it.
so I wanted to have that, and I picked up this. Although I had an interest on painting and all, but
Mm,
we never discussed about career in that, and I was not aware
mm,
what happens during that. And during my in between, I told, right, Ginger Cook, I was connected with that, and I started learning more in the
mm,
painting space, what it is happening from
mm,
year 2015 to 16. And I
mm,
continued with that, and then after that I was exposed into healing side. Then I realized, oh, healing is also there,
right.
because I was working on creativity, painting as a hobby, and it used to help me. Then I got into healing area also myself, and I started
Mm,
connecting with the different methods. Then
mm,
neurographic art I started, then
nice.
mandala also I started.
Mm,
And I keep testing that, like, what is really work for the stress. Then I
Mm.
realized, like, then I started, I read a lot about the color therapy also, and the color psychology also, and I started abstract art also.
Mm.
Then I realized, like, hobby is different, creativity is different from the healing. When it comes to the
Mm.
creativity, there are different methods, different tool, and when it comes to the healing, you have to work on your inner side.
Right.
Inner side, especially how you are
Correct.
feeling. So
Correct.
for creativity, you can create a masterpiece, and
Mm.
we you can try the different methods. But when it comes to the healing, we have to express ourselves. We have to express our inner emotions
Yes.
authentically. So that is a part of healing. So for healing,
Amazing.
then I got into neurographic art, then mandala art, and then I started
Nice.
reading about the art therapy
Mm.
and abstract art also. I realized it, but
Mm.
not doing the random abstract art. It is all
Mm.
about your inner game, in the sense,
Got it.
what you are feeling, how you are using color therapy, how you are using color psychology, and how you are associating that with the expression, and how you are expressing that over the paper or the canvas.
Got
So
it.
this is what I started learning, and my learning is still continuing, so it is the never
Amazing.
stop.
Beautiful.
So it is still
So
continuing that journey, and
amazing.
I'm exploring. And because I'm more into trying, experimenting and all, so I keep doing that. What exactly work on this, what exactly
Mm.
work for the anxiety, and what helps. So I have mixed everything, in the sense I
Nice.
mixed painting along with the
Yeah.
music, affirmation and all. So for me, there is a certain grounding practice before
Mm.
starting any session.
Mm.
So when I'm feeling stressed, when I'm feeling anxious, or I simply
Mm.
want to just help myself, or
Got
I
it.
want to express, so I have a certain grounding exercise.
Mm.
So I'll start with that, and I will think about the color combination. I will think about the color
Mm.
psychology, what I want to use it, how is my mood today, and what I want to express. And if
Mm.
it is a simple anxiety and all, that is a pretty simple, because it already consume our cognitive energy.
Mm.
We cannot do much about it. We have to just
Right.
simply express that. And you might have faced, especially the anxiety part, it is all about, just expressing that in the raw form. So this is
Nice.
all I learned while trying and testing different techniques.
Beautiful. So, Sonal, two
Thank you.
things. One is, of course, I'm going to just pause our recording for the moment. Okay. And then, of course, when we have the final recording, we would have continued on. In the live, we'll just pause it. And I'm going to be right back. So let me just pause this for the moment.
So Rahul, are you there?